What is happening, guys? Ancestor Weiss here, and by the end of this video, you're going to know how Bushiroad attempted to shake up the meta. They give us some really neat explanations on why they made the choices they did, so we're going to take a look at that and break it down. And if you like content like this, don't forget to subscribe. It'll really help the channel out. Alright, so the first hit on our list is Slime. That is what Bushiroad decided to hit, but not in the way we originally thought it would be hit. We really wanted this to get out of the deck so that they cannot just keep this 2-1 mirroring around. But with Bushiroad's blessings, they literally say right here, they wanted Slime to stick around to contend with the new sets coming up. I personally feel like they should have just gotten rid of it. It's been going on for a long time, and it's still going to keep going on. Is it less consistent now? Yes, it's definitely less consistent. The 8-gate deck, you know, the blue gate, or pants, as some people call it, you know, no climax combo, random 4-2 souls, those shenanigan decks are gone. Because this 1-0 is what made those decks happen. But the decks that just play a 1 combo into the Miron, they can still exist. You still have the level 1 Milim from the trial deck that can check top 4. You still have the level 1 Shizu from the second set that can check top 4. And you still even have the new Milim, the one that can destroy the back row if it's a level 0. Like, you still have ways of playing the game up until you get this 2-1 out and this Shuna. So I think this hit lessens their consistency, but it does not take it out of the game, which is what they wanted. And I'm not really sure if that's correct, but I would have just put this on the ban list with this and call it a day. And that way you cannot keep this field and you get to keep the consistency. Because with a hit like this, they should have never hit Alice to 2, right? Alice is basically the same effect as the Shuna, but it came out at level 1 instead. So what you do is you hit the Brainstorm, and then you let Alice players get to play what they want. So that you're basically like, this kind of contradicts what the standard they set. So this deck will be around. I don't know if it'll be as good as or as present at top tables as it is now because it's lost some of its consistency. But don't expect this deck to disappear. Now, looking at our second set on the list here, it is 7 Deadly Sins. Now, this deck has been around for a while, and for last year, it's been topping, going all over the place. To reiterate, because the combination of these two cards, this Dien and this Dreyfus, you're able to put the opponent in a deck state where the attacks, big swings or big burns for like 4 damage can hit. Auto effects of 4 can hit. So what ends up happening now is they can no longer do it all in one turn, or if they do, it'll cost them a lot. And I say that because there is the 2-1 Hawk that I talked about before. This card basically is the same effect as Dreyfus. It just costs more stock, more resources. But what this ends up doing is it ends up opening a new level of play, because that Hawk can be played at a level earlier. So for example, if I'm a 7 Deadly Sins player, my opponent's like, oh, I just paid a bunch of stock, I healed down to like 2-0, I have like 4 to 5 clean cards in my waiting room. Let's go even further, I have 7 to 8 clean cards in the waiting room. I may have whiffed the Brainstorm or something. Now, you can use that 2-1 Hawk, pay 1 stock, then pay 2 stock, tap a dude, and shove all that back in, slam the Elizabeth combo again, you know, 2-3-3, 2-4-3, whatever damage, you know, you triggers and stuff like that, whatever happens, you can push the opponent directly to 3, have a higher chance because of that damage, and then now they got the stock back, and now they can do, you can't rely on your stock, or you can't, you know, the burns from the Hendrickson, level 3, can now hit. So it opens up a new level of play, but they cannot do it all in one turn, because if they do it all in one turn now, they probably only have 1 finisher, which means they're not really, you know, they're not really killing you that easily. Like, you're not going to lose from 1 finisher that, you know, it's very rare that'll happen. It's just a single burn for, unless they flip a climax off of the Hendrickson or something. So I like this type of hit. This type of hit means I don't want you to just keep doing what you're doing, and now your main concern as players against 7DS is this card right here, which we've been seeing since the existence of time. This is what we like to call a stock swap, right? So the opponent cannot sit there and charge all their stock up and, you know, sit on good deck states. But here's what also happened. Because this is 1 of 4, they didn't make a separate restriction list. This Gil Thunder is gone now. This is now an indirect nerf, again, to those that wanted it out to Shauna. Because now, your only ability to bounce comes from a red level 3-2 Merlin. And that card now wants you to play quad color in a deck because you're already playing blue, green, and yellow. So that's not really going to happen. So you either run that 3-1 event or whatever, the 3-0 event. It's like a little picture of like a diamond. It'll be up on the screen. You can just directly remove Shauna's anti-burn off the field. But basically now you basically lose to Shauna. Like you had a chance of beating it before. Now you just lose. So overall, I do like this hit because it does help in certain scenarios. But I would have liked to see a precautionary of putting the 2-1 Hawk as well on here. That way they do not have both effects. Because if they're rolling the opponent in one game and they just happen to have like 10, 12 stock, oh man, I can just do whatever. Or you're playing the tree event, right? The tree event can get you extra stock. So that means that, hey, I can just sit there and use Hendrickson. Ooh, I draw into the tree event. I can play the Hawk, drop the tree event, get my stock back, play another Hendrickson. So, like, there are plays that are still there because they have the 2-1 Hawk. And I think that's what you do going forward. You just put the 2-1 Hawk in as a copy of 2 of, basically, and you're good to go. And, you have some free space. Hey, Gil Thunder's gone. You have extra space. You can do some other stuff, too. So, overall, 70S. Pretty fair hit. I think it got a slap on the wrist. I think Bushiroad was too scared to destroy the deck, like limit Elizabeth to 2, ban Elizabeth, put Elizabeth on here. So 70S is still a deck that's going to be able to rush the opponent down, gather resources, and not care about what the opponent does, because it can play the game regardless. And now we have arrived to the Tomb of the Undead, or Overlord as people know this anime, or this IP. This hit is actually insane. Like, you literally took this deck out. Like, this deck is unplayable in a tournament setting now. Because to explain a little bit to those that don't know, this 1-1 Ainz right here is the reason why they can play the game. It gives the 3-2 Ainz hexproof on the opponent's turn. It cannot be it or the opponent's card cannot be reversed. So anti-level bombs that would reverse you, that's ineffective. So the only way is to deal with the Ainz on the opponent's turn with a counter. That was basically it. Or use some card that targeted the entire field at once, such as Suicide, or I believe the level 3 Hololive card that blows the board up, or Data Live that also has that ability too. So this restriction just destroyed Ainz. But this is funny because things like this tell me that Bushiroad does not understand why the deck is good and what made it good. So if we read right here, right? While we don't want Ainz to take over the entire meta, we don't want to share off too much wool from our goats either. As such, we're opting to slightly reduce the deck's consistency. They do not understand that that deck was already so inconsistent that these two cards, especially this 2-1 Maid, is what drove the deck forward. You could have gotten rid of this, and sure, they can't sack you with a bunch of drop power, they don't have complete clock control, but they needed this 2-1 Maid, because there is no way of getting your treasure climax to play down for this combo that easily. Like, you get one, getting the second one, you use the Maid to dig, grab cards. If you grab a wrong climax off of it. Now it's just really bad. Now you're forced to choose this. If you choose any of this, you're playing a different deck. You're forced to choose this 1-1. And now this puts in a very bad position, because now where you were already a deck that was very fragile, now you're just a pile of RNG mess. If I block damage at all, I could maybe play the game. But that's basically where you're at now. Like, you can get level locked. You may not even have your combo. It just gets really bad. So I feel like they did not really understand how much this affected them. Now, is this a warrant hit? Well, I think Ainz is a mistake. This 1-1 with that 3-2 is a design mistake. In Weiss, at least currently. Until we get more effects, like Free Rins level 0, that can target counters, or we have the ability to remove hexproof cards at some significant cost, I do not think that that card should have existed. It's just an undeniable wall, like untouchable wall that just sits there and backed up by a rest counter. The rest counter could have been on here too. Like, you know, if you wanted to make the deck playable, this deck is just not, in my opinion, is not playable anymore if you play the 3/2 Ions and the 1/1. You may be able to get away with Albedo level 1 combo, so you're running 8 treasure icons, so this way you get cards flooded to your hand, but like that level 1 requires a reverse. So it becomes very hard to guaranteed on reverse effects, you know, depending on the set you play. So I think this hit was clear, whether they want to admit it or not. This hit was meant to just kill off Overlord. We slapped this on the wrist. We did not know what was really the problem. You know, we wanted, or maybe we did know. They did know what the problem was, but they wanted slime to keep existing. But then Overlord, you just got rid of it. Now, this being gone, is that healthy for the game? Probably. But you're gonna get new sets that do more broken stuff or new things. This is how power creep works in any card game, any game, matter of fact. So there's gonna be another big bad problem on the field that Bushiroad's got to hit again. So I guess they were like, let's just get it out of the way. Now, where this would have been poetic, where this would have been really good, is in the stream they announced the new Overlord set, and then they hit it. So at least that was a justifiable reason. I'm getting new support, and now I hit it. But I think it's just too soon to announce it. But I knew Overlord did sell really well, so we might be able to get a third set in the future, and maybe this can pick back up and do something. But yeah, that's the hit. It's gone. It's a wrap for this deck. The Tomb of the Undead definitely is a tomb. The Banlist threw Ions into a tomb to sleep forever. Basically recapping everything. Slime, you know, got a slap to the face a little bit. They lost consistency, but they can still play the 2/1 Miron and the 2/1 Shuna, which was the biggest problem because Bushiroad, you know, due to their own blessings, they wanted to stay around for longer. So by their logic, the banlist makes sense, but I think they should have just gotten rid of Slime personally. 7 Deadly Sins got a slap on the wrist. They're still playable. They keep their consistency. They can continue launch cards to the opponent and do what they do. Overlord or Tomb of the Undead has been destroyed. Set doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned at this point. They ruined that set. Maybe for the better, but maybe that's my personal opinion talking. Now, let's talk about something that should be happening. We've waited far too long for things to come off the ban list. Data Live, Kaguya, especially Kaguya. I felt this set was unfairly hit, and I felt that this was a good opportunity to release certain cards from the ban list. With Kaguya free, with Data Live free, with all of Data Live utility, maybe they could have cooked something well. You know, maybe a Kaguya player can finally try to do what they originally want to do, because this was hit before even physical tournaments were even a thing. This was hit because of the online results from the Bushiroad stuff that they had back in the day when, Voldemort was going around the country. So, you know, I felt that they lost this opportunity. Everything else is fair enough. Well, I'm the Ancestor Weiss. I hope you do enjoy this video. Just remember to subscribe for more content like this going forward. Now that we have a solidified ban list, we can talk about the meta going forward. So stay tuned for all of that.